Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Scarred Thumb Podcast. We're back. I don't know. It feels like it's been forever since I've done this. I don't know why, though it's only been a week. We are back. And now we've been blessed with the Switch 2. Good morning, Extra. Good morning, Deborah. Good to see you guys. Let's get right into it because I have like a million tabs open on this stuff, so you can see what's going on. So, according to Nitty Prime sources, the Switch 2 sold over 3 million units. Now, I don't know what Nitty Prime, if that's a reliable source, but I can kind of believe it. It sounds believable, sounds true. Globally, in 24 hours, if true, the Switch had the biggest hardware launch in video game history. And like I said, I could believe that. To put this into perspective, both the PS4 and the PS5 sold 4.5 million units in 2 months when they launched. That is the record. Switch 2 might have cleared 3 million units in 24 hours globally. We always, as always, we'll have to wait for official confirmation from Nintendo. Honestly, I'd be more surprised they had 3 million units available to buy. But I could definitely believe. I mean, there was a ton of hype around the Switch 2, and I will say I saw Switch 2s like on release day in the stores. In stores, they were available for purchase, even if you didn't pre-order it. So either the number isn't true, or they just made enough that their projections were good enough. They hit their mark on the projections and weren't conservative about it, and they've decided, hey, we'll make a ton of them, and then we'll sell a ton of them. I think that's really the PS5s. I think the biggest issue that they ran into is you couldn't buy the PS5. You couldn't find it. So, and I don't know. It could be when you get to sort of like Christmas. Will the Switch 2 have enough stock to sell? I don't know. I already pre-ordered mine. I have mine. Confession though, I haven't set mine up. It's one of those things, like being the old man I am now. It's like you can't just set up the console, stick the cart in, and then you're good to go. Now I have to think about transferring my data from my Switch 1 to my Switch 2. I got to, set everything up. You've got Ethernet cord, you've got the HDMI cords you got to set up. It's just like, there's a lot of like things going. I know it's going to be like a 2 to 3 hour operation to get the Switch 2 up and running. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if when I'm going to do it. Probably sometime today. But I'm not like super Mario Kart. It's a fun game. It's never been my jam. But of course, it's the release title, so I'm going to play it. And I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it. It'll probably be my game of the week next week. So look forward to that review of it. But it's just like, who wants to spend like 2-3 hours setting up a console? But that's what it takes nowadays, because you have logins as well, and then you got to download games that you want from your other system. It's like blah. It's a pain. It's a pain in the ass. But that's modern systems now. Gone are the day where you just plug it in, stick a cart, and then you're good to go. That's history. Now we're all connected. You got to get that day one patch that lets you operate the Switch 2, make it work. Let me know if there's any like issues with the stream right now. For some reason, it's saying that it's not maintaining enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I don't know. I don't know why. I tested my speed and it shouldn't be an issue, but right now it's showing it. Also, good morning, Jack. Good morning, Nuke. Good morning, King Trust Issues. Good to see you. Yeah, it is a bit of my time. But that's what it is. Okay, it's coming in good. Maybe YouTube's a liar. Maybe a filthy liar is what YouTube is. But let's look at this. This is Wario 64 Switch 2 console restock expected sometime tonight on Walmart. Like I said, release day, I saw Switches. Actually, one guy while I was checking out something, I had to get a memory card, an express memory card for the Switch. It's funny, the guy I was buying it from in Walmart was saying like, isn't it kind of like bullshit that you have to buy a different memory card, because these use express. The old Switch used a non-express memory card, but only the express works on the Switch 2, so you have to buy a whole new memory card for it to work on your Switch 2. You can't just take the memory card out of your Switch 1 and put it in there. It's like just another way to nickel and dime you. Here's another $50 for express memory card here. I got mine, my micro SD Express from Samsung. Ooh, it's even got Mario. It's got a big Mario M. I feel like a tool. My Mario memory card, yeah. I got the official memory card of Nintendo. It's got an M on it. Probably costs $20 more than some off-brand. But I'm not sure if I trust like the Walmart ONN memory card. So just something about it that makes me wonder, like, is this thing going to crap out on me? At least Samsung's a recognizable name brand. I think I could trust it. But their stock seems good. It seems like they did a pretty good job of estimating the amount of stock they needed, or at least they could actually, make up the production for it. And really, I think they hit the nail on the head in terms of price. You remember, everybody was complaining. And of course, I guess it's understandable. You want to pay as little as possible for these consoles, but hey, it's $3 million. I mean, you can't argue that they chose the right price when people are so willing to pay that price that they're able to sell like $3 million. Maybe they could have gotten more. Who knows? But another issue that apparently is still, and this is ridiculous, Nintendo is offering free replacements for drifting Joy-Con 2 controllers. The Switch 2 controller still includes the same part causing drift in the older model. That's insane. How did you not fix that? It makes me wonder, though, just how long this has been in production, or do they just have a shitload of those parts that they want to keep? They need to keep using it for their Switch 2 Joy-Cons. To me, that's insane that you couldn't fix this issue in the newer model. It still has that same part, but apparently they'll offer you a replacement. You have to go through like this giant rigmarole of talking to customer service to get it. Waste a day of your time to get your replacement and wait for it. But they'll still do it. That's crap. I never use the Joy-Cons, so it's kind of a non-issue for me, but it still kind of sucks. And this is another thing that came out for the Switch 2. Apparently, the Miis are now genderless, and this is Nintendo America is like the gayest organization ever, so doesn't surprise me. Select a style for your Mii. Apparently, they don't have genders anymore. It's only in American English. Everywhere it's still gendered. Plus, this is for online games where someone is non-binary could be playing. That's why they're doing this incorrect. Learn to read. The style of your select Mii. It's the style of your select. You select for your Mii may be reflected as a specific gender in some software. Huh. They voted against it for it, but it takes time. And Nintendo, like I said, Nintendo America has always kind of been like captured by a bunch of social justice warriors. It's over in Washington, super liberal area. So a lot of people that work for it are super liberal. It does not surprise me that it would be like that. That's like a warning. Your thing might be reflected a specific gender, man or woman. And then I like this joke. I've never watched fireworks alone with a type A body before. It just ruins everything. And just so reductive and unhuman to not have gender. But that's what they want to do. They want to ruin art. This was funny. Another Switch 2 article that I think was pretty funny. Switch 2 Welcome Tour, which everyone thinks should be free, requires $95 of accessories and a 4K TV for 100% completion. So $95 of accessory is really just one accessory, basically. So Nintendo's $10 Switch 2 minigame, a game that many fans believe should be free, requires you to own at least 95 accessories in order to complete 100%. So the welcome tour, which is $10, it is got like a bunch of mini games, but it also includes mini games designed to just showcase the Switch 2's camera and the extra GL and GR buttons, which are not found in the standard Switch 2 Joy-Con, and instead require a charging grip or a Pro controller, which are sold separately. Oh, and you also need a 4K TV in case you don't already have one of those, or we're planning to play your Switch 2 in handheld mode. 3 minigames require specific equipment. Based on our report, with camera need to play one minigame, a controller with a GL/GR button for another minigame, and a 4K supported screen needed for one minigame, and a separate tech demo. These experiences are skippable. The game actually tells you a cheat code to move past them, so you can progress further through the game. Isn't blocked, but using this method will only give you a silver medal. Wow, that seems a little bit ridiculous. For you skipped experience rather than the game's top tier gold award, and of course you miss out on actually playing whatever you skipped. So again, to play everything you need to get 100% with gold medals, you need the accessories. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Super Mario Brothers 4K. Oh, okay, that was that one. That was the 4K thing. Was one of the things I thought was really cool, where it's like the Mario Brothers screen expands as you play it. I guess you need a 4K monitor for that, which I don't have, but I don't plan on buying this demo either, so I guess you get what you deserve if you're gonna shell out $10 for a tech demo. But if you're obsessed with the whole gold thing, which I kind of this would annoy the shit out of me to have a few things that are silver and everything else gold. It definitely triggers that sort of OCD type of thing in me. So I wasn't planning on my welcome tour, but this is just another reason to skip it, as it's trying to get you to buy shit you don't need. I do kind of want to get the camera. If me and my brother start playing Mario Kart a lot, I might have to get the camera, because it seems pretty fun, where they're yelling and their faces are swirling around. It seems like it'd be a lot of fun. I like some of this where people are just, every time a game comes out, they gotta show, these people gotta show how much money I don't know if it's a flex on money or some sort of religious observance, guys, I bought all this stuff, look at me. They got a little coin too. Look at this haul. This has got to be what? That's 500. This is almost 6, at least 7, 8, 9. So easily over $1,000 of a product right here. It's a great start to the day. I spent $1,000. I mean, having money to enjoy a hobby is fine, but for some reason these things just seem gratuitous. I don't know why you would. Guys, look at all the money I spent. Just enjoy it. But remember when y'all were pretending to set up the prices? Yeah, no one. All those people were either A, going to buy it, or B, just not going to buy it. None of the prices were never an issue for the majority of people. You could already see just how much it sold. There's tons of people flexing right now. It's oh wait, what was this? Dang it! Did I miss? There was a screen I wanted to show. It's out of order. Did I miss it? Maybe I did. Oops. Don't worry about it. It just, you could see these all over the place. It is a status flex, I guess, bragging rights. I just always found it kind of in bad taste. It's hey, look at all this stuff. I bought a shitload of stuff. But that's maybe my personal opinion. And we're whoa. I mean, it's one thing to show it off, but at some point it just becomes so consumerist. I enjoy the hobby. I buy the stuff too. But I don't know. It just seems kind of odd to show it off. Well, let's move on. This is one of the things that I honestly, I almost regret to admit this, but Walmart was easily the best company to buy the Switch 2 from. They nailed this release incredibly hard. So this is from Dextro. People who pre-ordered the Switch 2 from Walmart got a snack and a drink for free. Walmart didn't advertise it, saying they wanted to surprise people with a feel-good moment. And now the feel-good moment is bullshit. What they want to do is advertise their delivery service. You know, they're trying to compete with Amazon. They're showing like, hey, you can get food and drinks from us. And mine did come with a Coke and a Pringles, original flavored Pringles, which was very cool. And honestly, it showed up before I woke up the morning it was released. Like, I get up, what's waiting for me? A Switch 2 in a bag with a Coke and some Pringles. That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good by Walmart, which I've some issues with them, but they did a fantastic job. During the pre-order, they had the only site that actually worked. Theirs was the only site that worked. Everything else just immediately crashed. So, awesome. Good on them. Really good on them. I'm glad I bought it. Well, I had no choice. They were the only people I could pre-order the Switch 2 from, because every other site, the Target site, the Best Buy site, the GameStop site, all of those sites did not work during their midnight pre-release, pre-orders that went live. Or I think GameStop was like 10 a.m. or something. It didn't work. So they were the only ones you could actually pre-order the thing from. And they did a great job with it. Was really impressed. Their delivery service is actually really good. I think this was a smart move from Walmart as an advertisement, because they do have a delivery service. I mean, that is comparable. It seems like it's comparable to Amazon. I haven't used it that much, but some of the stuff that have been ordered from Walmart, you can get it same day, just like Amazon. So good on them. Good on them. I was very impressed. Apparently, they're saying that this is from Reddit, and I don't know if I believe this, but they're saying purchasing a Switch 2 saved their life. As a Seidel said, purchasing a Switch saved my life this morning. For some context, I'm a type 1 diabetic. This morning I went to take my long-acting insulin and must have hit a blood vessel or vein or something, because my long-acting began to work instantly. My blood sugar dropped from 130 to 45 in 8 minutes. I had no sugar liquid. Liquid worked so fast that I knew at that rate I was dropping, I had no time to waste on hand. Wow, that's a really... I don't know why that's a... whatever, that sentence. As it was a grocery store shopping day. Luckily, I remembered Walmart sent a Coke with my purchase yesterday. That Coke literally saved my life this morning, because I can almost guarantee without it, I wouldn't be here writing this. Life is weird, but I'm so grateful for my decision to purchase the Switch. I'm loving it, by the way, and Walmart's decision to send some snacks with their purchase. Now, I'm calling bullshit. I don't think this actually happened, but it's kind of funny. And to be honest, if it did happen, I don't know if saving a Redditor was a good thing for Walmart to do. World's probably better off without him, but hey, it's a funny story if it's true. But I don't know if I believe that he would have died, or maybe he could have called I don't know, an ambulance. It doesn't really hold up to scrutiny, but it's a kind of funny story. Oh God! So Walmart won the sort of Switch 2 pre-release, but the people that failed the hardest in the Switch 2 pre-release is definitely good old GameStop. So this is a picture here, and if you notice the staple in the middle here of the 6, well, this is like a horror story. You go to your pre-release, midnight pre-release, pick up your Switch, you're super happy, you go home, open it up, and then this shit shows up. As you can see within the red circle here, 2 staple marks where the staple was at. Holy smokes. They damaged this, and I'm actually a little bit surprised the screen would be like right underneath that cardboard there. It's interesting packing, but holy smokes. Literally ruined your screen. Ruined their screen by stapling it to the box here. Amazing. Amazing by GameStop. This is a follow-up from Dextro. GameStop responds to New York Switch 2 console damage with stapler. Are responded after Switch 2 players who finally got their hands on the long-awaited console reported being given damaged goods as the store receipt was stapled to the screen. Fans have been eagerly awaiting the follow-up to the Nintendo Switch for years. Originally launched, blah blah blah. They got to add a whole bunch of fluff. I guess they get paid by the word, so they have to include irrelevant stuff here. So this after picking up the Switch 2 from a New York GameStop on June 5th. Multiple fans have shared images of holes in the screen. These were seemingly caused by the staples holding the store receipt in place, which had poked through the box and into the console. GameStop stapled the receipt for me and my friends with the Switch 2 to the box. FML, said one frustrated player on X, genuinely saying how I'm going to have to wait 3 months for a restock. And this is him sharing his images on Twitter. We get here. So damn. It went all the way down into that? I guess maybe it seems super deep. Wow. So he said he went to a mid-right pre-release. I'm surprised it could reach that far down. But maybe it's maybe this is, it's a lot it looks deeper than it is what I'm trying to say. But that's crazy. You went to the midnight pre-release, you open it up, and your Switch is damaged because a retard stapled their receipt to the box. They stapled the receipt to a box at the Staten Island, New York, and it had a damaged screen, said another, while trying to contact GameStop and Nintendo. In an now-deleted Reddit post, another player who was attending the unit mentioned that every unit in that batch had suffered from the issue, as they saw plenty of other affected. So it's not just one person. But GameStop has responded since the incident, humorously replying to Dextro's tweet with a meme. Wow, they got to bringing out their meme game. We addressed the unique case of the staplers damaging Switch 2 screens. Replacements have been offered. Staplers have been confiscated. So hopefully they got a replacement in a timely manner. GameStop, moving stuff around to get this taken care of. But damn, that is a feel bad moment when a stapler can damage your screen like that. It's just a funny story, really. All right, probably gonna have to wait a year to get one. Which is smart. Yeah, it's a smart idea. If you can wait, if you're not super excited for like any first party game coming out this year, or you can wait on it. It's definitely gonna have a better library at this time. Actually, I think what was the next? This is a thing I just like these memes. One game I don't know why, which is obviously I think Linkin Park. One game I don't know why I got a Switch 2 with no games to buy. I like the sort of trolling 4chan trolling of consoles, but really there is only one like Switch 2 game. Specific Switch 2 game, and it's Mario Kart World right now. So it is worth waiting. If you wait a year, you're gonna have Mario Kart, you're gonna have Donkey Kong, you're gonna have Metroid Prime 4. Who knows what other game's gonna come out specifically? I can't think of the other ones off the top of my head, but there's probably gonna be or I think XYZ is gonna come out, which to me isn't like a super. I think it'll be fun. I'll probably play it, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest. I don't have the biggest trust in the Pokemon Company right now. They need to regain my trust with how just bad some of these games have looked. Besides that, yeah, I don't know. And I'm pretty sure XY and Prime 4 The new Pokemon N Prime can play on the Switch. Though I have seen a lot of stuff about people saying that the performance is a lot better, even, from the Switch to the Switch 2. Like playing Switch 1 games on the Switch 2 is a big performance boost, which is cool because obviously the Switch didn't have a lot of power behind it. So the stuff that's sort of pushing the edge of what it can do, some of those frame drops are not, aren't there. I've even seen people saying input lag is better on the Switch 2, but that was just their sort of opinion, their feel of it. Hasn't been tested yet, but it'd be cool if it did, because a lot of especially like shoot 'em ups and stuff like that require a lot of precision. The input lag, having as low as possible, really makes the experience a lot better. This was a Mario Kart. Speaking of Mario Kart World, Shigeru Miyamoto is not credited, or not in the credits of Mario Kart World, not even as a special thanks. And I don't really think that this is a snub to Miyamoto. It's just I think he had nothing to do with it, so why would they credit him? His last Mario Kart credits was on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. He wasn't credited in Tour or Home Circuit. But this is the first time in a main game. He didn't work on the game. If he didn't work on the game or at least consulted it, I'm fine with him not being in the credits. It's just still weird to this gentleman. Yeah, it is kind of weird for Miyamoto not to be mentioned in a Mario game, but if he didn't work on it, why would they give him credit for it? He doesn't seem like the guy that would just hey, you got to include me in the credits. If he didn't have anything to do with it, then why would he? And of course, he's been focusing on the Nintendo Museum, the Nintendo movies. He's sort of expanded in his late years, expanded beyond games and trying to make new inroads to different things. This was also apparently Princess Peach and Toad's veteran voice actor says Nintendo told her she'd been replaced on Switch 2 launch day as Mario Kart World releases without her in it. I'm sure at some point she had to realize that if she wasn't hired to play Peach in Super Mario World, she'd kind of get the idea that she was out. But I guess this Samantha Kelly has been a long-time voice actor for Princess Peach. I assume that's this old lady right here on the right. Yeah, apparently is currently with the... Now it's increasingly strict when it comes to sharing information found in the credits of its video games ahead of time, to the extent that it frequently refuses to acknowledge the developer of its game prior to the release. I guess it's been very strict, but that's kind of a shame. But Charles Martel is out as Mario. They're trying to slowly bring in new blood for the next iteration, which could be good or bad depending on how they do it. Let's hope they do a good job. This was nothing to do with any sort of news story, but it was just sick. This is like the sort of disgusting stuff you expect when you're playing with buddies. Keep your eye on the dry bones on the left here. Oh, I guess the Animal Crossing track is there. Oh, this is Mario Kart 8. Not World. I mean, that's just... The disrespect is just insane. You're ahead of the person. Coming to stop right before the line, and then, damn. At that point, you have to throw the controller at your friend. I feel at that point, you have to do something like that. There's got to be a fight. When you disrespect, the level of disrespect is just crazy. But a very cool move. And these guys are clearly pretty evenly matched too, so it's pretty funny. I always enjoy stuff like that. Oh man, so that's it for the Switch 2 news. Let's move on. Summer Games Fest happened, and there was a lot of games announced. So now we get I got a lot of trailers to did that to you. I would be very upset, though impressed at the same time if they did that to me. So this is a game that looks interesting. I don't know if it'll be a fun game, but at the very least, it looks very fun. So let's take a look at some trailers here. Oh, I get to drink.
The tournament of a million punches, you'll get yourself killed!
All right, you little sack of fuzzy shit. Show me what you got. What? If you're gonna be champ, we gotta transform you. Why are you even here?
I like the puppet art style they got going on.
Don't waste my time.
Save us, Fuzzy, or we'll die.
Attaboy. Attaboy. Eat bread, crap, burnt toast, carb load. This meat ain't gonna beat itself. I've been taking dumps in there all day. Jab, jab, jab.
This is what makes me wonder, like, how much of this is just like pre-rendered, and how much is actual like gameplay. It is a Muppets boxing. This has a really unique art style, which I like. And I assume this is very much like a Punch-Out type of thing. I like the art style. I like the lighting, too. It doesn't look like a, sort of like a normal thing. But how much of this is pre-rendered? I guess in like something like a Punch-Out, you could probably get away with a lot of that stuff. Like a lot of like sequences, because that's essentially what Punch-Out is, But very cool looking title. There's some other stuff that's just Sonic Racing Crossworlds was announced, and it just has some of the most insane. I mean, Joker, I was a little surprised. I don't know, does Sega own? I forget the developer of Persona and that kind of stuff. I forget, Atlas? Isn't it Atlas? I don't know. It's got Hatsune Miku, which, I mean, Sega's done a lot of stuff with Hatsune Miku. And then Yakuza, I guess that makes sense. But they're just sort of like, this is like Sonic Smash Brothers Racing, essentially, going on. Some of this guy, Crossworlds being $70 is like, I like this cope. Obviously, this guy's versatile. He's got a vector avatar here, probably a furry. So I think his opinion can easily be discarded just on that. Not to mention he's Jamaican. Crossworld being $70 is much more evident in the scope of the game than Mario Kart World, in my opinion. Like, no question, bruh. Anyone using the word bruh immediately just think they're retarded. No game should cost that much, but it has customization, actual good roster, guest characters, amazing tracks, free update, crossplay, and more. Take my money. Yeah, sure, buddy. But I'm actually very surprised. Crossworld Sonic has had some like insane stuff like Yogg's Cast. I think they had a version of it. So they just like throw everything and anything. Like YouTube, they may have YouTubers in it at some point. Who knows? It could definitely happen. But I did like this. I just complained to my friend that Sonic Crossroads was $70, and bro was like, N-word, it's Sonic. It'll be 60% off in a year. And that is incredibly true. Incredibly true. Sonic, for some reason, Sonic games just immediately go half off, like, in a year. Like clockwork. Sega is very aggressive about discounting their games, which, is the opposite of Nintendo. Nintendo never wants to discount it. And in some ways, it's good and bad, because I like the fact that Nintendo games, like, if you buy it on release, you're not like, oh, wow, if I waited a year, I could save half my money. It's like, oh, wow, waited a year. A year later, it's still $70, which, I mean, sucks if you want to get a deal, but you don't feel like you got screwed over by not waiting like 3 months for it to go 20% off, which happens so much in games right now. So it's a give and take there, but definitely true. Sonic, to me, it does not look like an interesting game. I'm not a huge Sonic fan. I'm not a huge kart racing fan. So, but speaking of games, I've played Shovel Knight. This is from Yacht Club Games. A trailer for Mina the Hollower, which it looks kind of interesting. If you are into sort of the old style Game Boy Zelda, it seems like something that might interest you.
Hi, I'm Celia from Yacht Club Games. 10 years ago, we broke new ground with our first game, Shovel Knight. Today, I'm thrilled to share a world premiere look at our next IP, Mina the Hollower. Mina continues our traditions of refining retro gameplay for a new generation. It's a bone-chilling adventure that it blends intense combat, free roaming exploration, and precise platforming. As Mina, a whip-wielding hollower, you'll burrow through danger.
Where's the trailer? There we go. Shut up, woman! The graphic style definitely reminds me of Zelda 2. And it's sort of like the overhead stuff. October 31st, on Halloween. I guess it fits that spooky theme. Lots of gear you can equip. Interesting. Definitely looks very interesting. Like places to explore. You got weapons and stuff. If the price is right, I would definitely give it a trial. You shared a smile and look pretty well. I guess she is the marketing director, so I guess that is her job. Yeah. I always like the pixelated art style of these games. It always gets points in my book. Of course, Yacht Club Games did do a good job of Shovel Knight, so that definitely goes a long way too. I might give it a try. Like I said, it depends on the price. Nothing for me at first look. Yeah, I'd have to see the price. If it's like $30, I might wait on it. If it goes on sale, I could definitely give it a try. Also depends on how long the game is. Like this is a decent 20-hour or less game. That for me, that would be the sweet spot for a game like this. Not are still $20 or something, right? Yeah, I think so. I haven't played the expansions. I enjoyed the base game. It was fun. Didn't play the expansions. But, it's a fun little experience if you can get it for cheap. So, yeah. Might have to check that out. This was a game that I'm not super interested, but it got people excited for it. This is Marvel I think it's Token Fighting Souls. So, people all kept making memes about, Capcom being cucked by ArcSys, who is making this game. Of course, Capcom... Marvel vs. Capcom has always sort of been the Marvel fighting game. So it's interesting to see a different take on it. This one's very Japanese, as you'll see.
自由のために戦う。さあ、お手並み拝見といこう。君のことは親友だと思っているが、やるしかないようだな。ビブラニウムのシールドだけでは私のアーマーには勝てないぞ。
You can sort of see the Gundam Iron Man is wild. Spider-Man speaking Japanese just strikes me as very funny.
俺とやり合うってか調子が出てきたぜ
Feels weird not to have Chris
俺
Pratt
様の名は
star.
スターロード胸に刻んでおくか
覚悟しやがれシュートベルト締めたさないイーストロス流のスペシャルメニューをお見舞いするぜ上部に焼き付け貧弱なる
Doom always looks cool. Like, I love the walking animation they got for him too.
援護する風よ荒れ狂えたとえ人々に嫌われていても私は世界を守るさあ耐
Japanese can even make black women look
えられるかしらこりゃ
正義のためにこれが私のとっておきだ
I like how people were mentioning Miss Marvel is always like this Indian girl. It's like the first time they've liked a character design she's had.
抱かれなさいせや
またなベイベー
我々のチームワークは絶対に破れない
マーベル闘魂ファイティングソウルズ
Fighting Soul. It is interesting to sort of see like a different cultural take on because this is super Japanese. Like, I like the fact they included. Hopefully, they keep that in it for America. That token fighting souls, 'cause it definitely gives you the idea that this is a Japanese game. Robbie Ray's Ghost Rider more likable. This is super Japanese. Coming 2026. A cool take on it. Something, different, which I like. But I'm not a big fighting game player, so. But it does look very interesting. I do like the Iron Man. The fact that they decided to sort of take. And this Iron Man design's crazy, to be honest, with the Gundam sort of looking armor. I'm glad they sort of made it their own. They said like, hey, this is a Japanese game. We're going to make some of these characters look extremely Japanese. Like, obviously, Miss Marvel. That's her name, right? Miss Marvel? I think so. But, they're going to make all the characters look give them a lot of Japanese. Like, though Doom looks pretty much the same. They're going to animate it up, make it their own. I think that's the way to do it. On this was a huge announcement. A game that I am excited for. Man, check this out. This was rumored for a long time, but now it is confirmed. I never heard of Creative Studio 3. But let's hope they do a good job.
Oh, Father, abandon
I like
not
this
your way,
animation.
children of Ivalice,
Fantastic.
but deliver us from our sins, that we might know salvation.
If you feel wronged, blame yourself or the Father.
Why do you fight? Why walk this path of subterfuge and conflict?
The powerful must rule the weak. It is our duty.
Heavens fall upon your crown!
This vile charade has gone on long enough
Having voice acting in these sequences could be good.
Do you
I have
remember
mixed feeling about it. I don't know if I
when your
need it.
father showed us how to make a whistle of a blade of grass.
You got a classic mode. Classic version unites the graphics and gameplay of the original with the renowned War of Lions translation. Enhanced version features a renewed interface, extensive additions, an adjustment to the story, fully voiced dialogue, and much more. So you got options here, which I like. They give like, hey, here's just enhanced edition, or the classic has been slightly updated for like a new system. And, gameplay. And then here we're going to have an enhanced edition, which, maybe you like more, maybe you don't. But you have the option to do both. Both versions are included, which is great. I think this is kind of the way to go with something like that. This is a very beloved game. So I think a lot of people would be very specific about how it's done. And I think just doing as little as possible can sometimes be the best option here, because it was a great game to begin with. It doesn't need to be touched. But if you're going to do it, like here we go. You got an option. You can play the sort of like base game that's just sort of been remastered for modern consoles, so you don't have to try and like play an emulator or, you know, get like who knows how much the Final Fantasy. Let me look it up. Final Fantasy Tactics on eBay. Let's see, Final Fantasy Tactics, PlayStation. Any guesses on how much this is going to cost? It's actually not too bad if you get the sort of Game of the Year edition. It's only like $35, which isn't too bad. I guess they printed a lot of these. Hopefully it still works. Someone's trying to sell you a sealed version for $600, 50, 80. Not too bad. Not too bad. Maybe it's gonna be released for less now that they announce it. I guess what did they release? War of the Lions on what? PSP. So it's been released a few times. So it's not too bad. Ashley Brown, thank you so much for the $4.99. Enjoy your work and no cuck career enders here. Not yet. I'm not bringing any women on my podcast, so I can't yell at them. So that's definitely gonna save me, I think, from any career-ending yell, any career-ending moments. But thank you very much. Appreciate the super chat. It's always appreciated for the support for this. But yeah, this looks good. Very good. Excited for it. Coming out. When is it coming out? Does it mention it? Oh, it does. September 30th. So still plenty of time to go, which is great. So I can enjoy my Mario Kart. I can enjoy my Donkey Kong. I don't need new games right now. I've got too many games. Too many games to play and enjoy. So September 30th. Definitely looking forward to that. The Tactics game. I played the Game Boy version of it too. I don't know if there's a third version. A third version of the Final Fantasy Tactics. But I didn't play that if I did. But that's always been a nice series. And frankly, I don't think the genre is done. Has enough games, really good games for it. The sort of tactical RPG. The tactic element adds, especially when it comes to movement, definitely adds a level to it, a different level to it. That's a lot of fun. I think there's only two versions of Final Fantasy Tactics. The Game Boy version, which was, I think, War of Ivalice or something like that. No, I forget what the Game Boy one was, which was like totally unrelated, where they go into like a storybook. Final Fantasy, it's just called Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Man, they had such great naming back in the day. Yeah, it's Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced. It's a totally different version, totally unrelated to the worlds, as far as I know. Well, we'll just call it Advanced. Done. Let's move on, though. Oh, so it's out September 30th. It's another thing. Looks great. This is something I am not excited for. They better not make it easier. Well, funny you should mention that, Nuke, because if you pre-order it, here's what you could get. Do you even ever stream? I stream just on Sundays, really. So let's see. Let's see what you can get if you pre-order this. You got an Academy Barrette, prevents charm status while equipped. Academy Tunic, grants shell while equipped. Wow, this is really good. Academy Blade. They spell Academy with a K. That's funny. Oh, raises unit speed when equipped. Interesting. I get Ring of Batu boots. JP earned when equipped. That sounds pretty good. 10 Phoenix Downs. Some red and black equipment for Ramza, I should say. Spiked boots. Oh, a high potion. White equipment. Ethers. Mithril knife. Oh, wow. I can get stuff to help. I hate pre-order bonuses like this. It's one thing to make it cosmetic. That's another thing to just like give you stuff that helps you in game. To me, that's lame. Like I want to play the game as it was intended to be played, with the original difficulty. Giving me stuff that helps me out, to me sucks. And I don't know why they do this, but I'm sure there are some people that are going to like it. They just want to play Final Fantasy Tactics. They don't want to be challenged. I can understand that. And Final Fantasy Tactics probably is hard compared to other RPGs. Because, I mean, you can't just sort of like level up infinitely. You have to sort of, plan out how your stuff grows as they do, as the sort of stages progress. At least I think. I don't think there's a place to actually like play multiple times and just level up your guys, like an arena or something in Tactics, which I hope they didn't add, because I think that's the way it should be played, and what makes those tactic games fun is you kind of like to plan out your routes through the different chapters, and really plan out your character growth. And of course, if anyone dies, then you got to restart the level. That's how it should be. That's the fun of the Tactics games, is just how punishing they can be. Nuke, thank you so much for the $5, man. Really appreciate it. I hope that they don't make Final Fantasy Tactics easier, but hopefully a little less grindy. I want to see normies complain and squirm. Exactly. That is the fun of it. It's like, oh crap. Now I've gone through these levels. I leveled up a guy. He's not that good. Or, I need to like pivot my characters. And oh, darn it. Now I can't beat this boss. I guess people were complaining there was a fight where you have to use Ramza, which, all right, you're forcing you to use a character. Kind of sucks. I don't like that. I prefer, as much creativity in games as possible. So, like, if you don't like Ramza, you have to use them. So that sucks. And of course, there was like, I don't know if the glitches for like duping stuff where like you have like a haste blade, like one of those blades that gives you haste. You just sort of like dupe it and give it to a bunch of people, and you're like dual wielding insane like legendary blades. I don't know if those glitches are going to be in it, but they were always fun too. Playing with like a ninja. I give my like main character's ninja status. One of them has like haste. The other one like could shoot like freaking laser. I forget the one that like could shoot down like rays that did like that cross thing, area of effect. It was a lot of fun. It's pretty good. Triangle Strategy is pretty good tactic games. Definitely recommended. Oh, cool. I know there was a game that came out that just kind of flopped. I think it was War. What was it? It was a war game, but I can't remember which one it was called. It was like a Advanced Wars style game. But it like released super unfinished, and people were kind of pissed off about it, which I could definitely get, because it looked really, it's Warside. That's the name of the game, Warside, which like looks really great, like from the like this was what it looked like. Warside. It looks super like Final or Advance Wars, which I loved Advance Wars. The remake, I didn't buy the remake because I think they just did a terrible job with the remake of Advance Wars, where the art style kind of sucked. Really, just the OTS. They made multiplayer an afterthought to the point where you can play this web-based Advance Wars by web and get a better multiplayer experience for it. To me, it was super lame, and WayForward did a terrible job on that remake. So I'm not giving them my money for that kind of thing. But obviously it raised over £100,000. But it came out, there's like placeholder powers. You couldn't finish the campaign. It just totally ran out of time, and it needed like another half a year to cook. I don't know if it'll do how well it's done, or it will do any better. But it seems like something like they need like a 2.0 release where they fix all of the stuff and get it sort of like a complete game, and then discount it like at half off and come out with a 2.0 is really what they need to do. But it's kind of a shame because it looked really good but didn't live up to the hype. This is my first intro to tactic games. So, yeah. Big Fire Emblem fan, too. I haven't played the newer ones, but I think the DS game was the last one I played, and I really liked it. I didn't like as much when they switched over to 3D models. I think it lost some of the charm, at least visually, when they get to 3D. This is Stellar Blade Nike. So... they came out with their PC release, and it's the CEO endorses mods. Unlike Square, which is telling you, "Hey, don't make nude Tifa mods. That's no good." Shift Up CEO, maker of the gacha game Nike Goddess of Victory, which focuses around women's ass shaking. Unsurprisingly, is a very pro mod. And it feels like Stellar Blade, one of the big selling points of Stellar Blade PC, would be mods. So it's really no surprise that he's pro mod. First of all, I fully support the phenomenal player using mods. In fact, I myself also want to try out some of the more exciting mods. I look forward to seeing many players create their own mods and engaging in healthy competition with them to see whose mods are more attractive. I also hope that more players get involved in mod creation. So he's very pro mod, which is great. I think one thing, I don't like gacha games in terms of their design, but I think they're really smart about how they use the community. I think in terms of social media and community creation is such a huge part of gacha games, their popularity. When you look at sort of fan art for games like Nike, Blue Archive, any sort of like Genshin Impact or Zenless Zone Zero, there is so many artists that are making fan art for these games, and they realize just how big of a push it is for their games. It's a huge boon, and they even, at some points, they even pay people to make artworks and animations for them. So they know they have a great sort of relationship with their communities and a great sort of outlook on their communities, and they realize that this is that community creations help their game, which is sort of the opposite of people like Nintendo. Square recently saying Square Enix saying they didn't want sort of mods, nude mods, or Capcom sort of taking a very unhealthy, I think, stance with mod creation. When they're not going to stop them, it's just, to me, it's just kind of sucks that they wouldn't embrace it more. They want to control that experience, but at least they have a good to see a good outlook from these Stellar Blade Nike kids. So they just realize that it's free money, it's free advertising for them, which is great. I like this sort of hands-off stance. Of course, not all of the mods are great. I always you get some of these stuff. Some of these things are horrors. Pregnant Eve skin. It's always fun. Always fun to see what horrors the community came up with. I've already seen I'm sure at some point they make like a super fat Eve costume. But this, speaking of horrors, this is not all the games were good. Not all the games they showed were were good stuff. Let's get into some stuff that's pretty cringy.
Back and bask in the glory of gaming's first quintuple A tropical farming sim experience. Oh, hi, new friend. Oh, yeah! Escape the turd burger of late-stage capitalism and enter a world of VR magic and wonder.
Late-stage capitalism joke.
You'll care for exotic pets, the elderly, and this fucking thing with hip-hop Satan. Oh, hi, don't worry, he's a fascist. He deserves this big time.
Oh, he's a fascist. He deserves that.
What the hell? Who designed this shit? I wiped my ass on this first. You're welcome.
I guess Deadpool was kinda, I mean, has he always been that? But he's become like the official like Reddit superhero. Deadly and witty.
With fries. All your
This apparently has Neil Patrick Harris. I don't know if I don't think he's as good as Ryan Reynolds. Is it?
Dreams of being inside me come true in VR. Spider-Man gets Insomniac, and I get this shit?
Whoa, lay Deadpool. Very fun. People are late stage capitalism and fascist, just like, oh boy. It's cringy as hell. With, renowned homo Neil Patrick Harris as the voice. I don't think he did that great of a job. Kind of missing some of the edge of, sort of Ryan Reynolds. But either way, it's not a game I'm playing. VR is also VR is whatever. I'm not a huge VR fan. This game also, like, holy smokes. The woke isn't going away, guys. It's we'll see what's going on with this here. So take a look at Rebooted here.
Treaties were signed, promises made and broken. Is it stealing to take back what was stolen?
Stolen? Who's stealing them?
Us.
It's time to get out of there.
Let me introduce a friend of mine. Smart, agile, and will let you look into places with the tightest security.
I could probably bench press every one of them.
Wow.
The locksmith strikes again.
He knows how to get those sort of opens the deodorants that are locked up in the Walmart.
Listen, are you having second thoughts?
No. Just hoping you won't get me killed.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great dialogue.
I know what you and your little...
Honestly, I'm surprised that they didn't make the villain a white guy. Maybe the real villain is a white guy. To me, that seems like they pussied out here.
Little crew are doing.
Nobody threatens my family or my friends and gets away with it. So we are going to do whatever it takes to take back Africa's belongings. And we're going to do it together.
Take back Africa's belongings. Eluded. A game about starring a bunch of African American cast. Really, it's funny that you can have a game that's all black characters. Interesting. You can't have a game with all white characters, but definitely have one with all black characters. And apparently, it's about stealing. People, of course, quickly pointed out the obvious that it's a game starring all black characters that is about stealing stuff. Does a Reloaded game have a black market fence where it ends up back into a rich person's private collection? That would be funny. And of course, I love we're stealing back Africa's artifacts. Like Africans wouldn't have destroyed all of these artifacts at some point during some sort of like genocidal war between each other, where the tribes are just murdering every single person there. But It's they're real victims. They're taking it back. This the whole art style looks awful. All of these games that star like black people, like made by black people, apparently for black people, they all have this like shitty art style. Like the character design, it has to have a woman, stars a woman or like some effeminate man. You can't have any sort of testosterone. Look at this like small dude. I'm hoping you don't get me killed. Awkward laugh. Wow. What a compelling character. Compelling and cool characters all around. Look at this. Look at the guy in the blue. What kind of smile is that? It looks, everything about it looks lame and longhoused to hell. Reload. Oh, wait. Is that a woman in green? I think it is. Let me see if I can scroll to where is the crew shot here. I think the person in green's a woman. I think that's a woman. Holy shit! I mean, this is just all. It always happens in these games. Yeah, I think that green character is a woman. Holy shit! They make the why they wonder why it failed. It's got to be racism is why this game is gonna fail, guys. It's not. You have this fucking worst character design ever. I feel bad for like a black person that wants a black. If a black person ever wanted a black, a starring game with a cool character, you literally will never get it right now. Seems like it's impossible. You need like a racist, honestly, to make a video game that would have a cool black character in it. Because it's just the worst. Every one of these things, people look retarded, unlikable. Oh, X Runner, super thing. Oh wait, did I read that? Yeah, I read it. I read it. Oh man, this looks so stupid. It's gonna end up like Zao, which like did terribly, and then this. They had to get a bunch of money during the 2020s, and now you're kind of seeing the fruits of this sort of like 2020 DI, BML money coming to light, coming to bear, and it's as bad as you think it would be. Well, let's move on. Speaking of, Borderlands 2, a good game, is free on Steam. The deal ends today. If you haven't gotten Borderlands 2, but not everybody's happy about it. Not everyone's happy about it. Borderlands 2 is getting massively review bombed on Steam despite being given away for free. Players are dissatisfied with sudden changes in how the game collects and uses their data. And then Dectra saying, these ELU changes are in line with Take-Two's other games, and the accusation for players that Borderlands 2 is spyware may be false. Honestly, having the ELU changes in line with Take-Two's other games, that's not reassuring, to be honest. So people were pissed because essentially they changed, Borderlands 2 agreement as far as how they collect their data, and while they're releasing it for free, which leading some to believe that they're giving it away for free, so they can just collect more data on users. As someone to point out, changes ELO to allow spyware, makes their best game free on Steam. People realize it's spyware and review bomb it. So, I mean, like I said, Steam reviews are kind of like the sort of user experience. So, it's, it is what it is. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Though, what the hell? I lost the chat. I lost the chat there. Is it still going? Are we still going? Okay. I don't know why the chat crashed here. But I'm back. Let's see what's going on. You're by Dragon Quest 3. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. New Black Panther is supposed to be white. Oh yeah, the alternate Black Panther. That'll be funny. What's your opinion on that? I've seen it. The people pushing it, I think, just want to push Hunter Schafer as Zelda, which, I mean, Hunter Schafer is a troon. The fact, I kind of pointed out, the fact that they're a troon kind of gives them this sort of like otherworldly look to it, to them. They don't look quite human, like a normal human being. So I could definitely, it definitely looks similar to Zelda, but it'd be awful. And I think Nintendo isn't going to allow it, though there's a bunch of like journalists trying to push that Hunter Schafer would be great for Zelda, because of course, anything that men enjoy, you need to embarrass them. And of course, I wasn't going to talk about Pride Week, but you look at some of the stuff for Pride Month that they did for sports games, and it's ridiculous. For Pride Month it's just anything that men enjoy, you need to embarrass them for and make them feel embarrassed for liking it, because like I said, a lot of this wokeness is just hatred for men. So you have to make them anything like heterosexual, you need to make them hate. This is baseball, America's sport, enjoyed by mostly men, mostly straight men, and then of course baseball is everyone's game. Pride, you have to have this gay rainbow flag that includes the black and the brown and trans color. But I think that's a push for Hunter Schafer, and if they allowed it, I think it'd be just a disaster, an absolute disaster. It wouldn't work. I think people would riot essentially and just boycott the game. But it is interesting to me. The only thing is that it'd be interesting to see is if they the journalist is pushing to put a man in the role of Zelda is interesting to see, because it's, like I said, just a propaganda push, or to make you hate yourself. Most things haven't. Yeah, it's the Pride stuff has been more subtle this year, for sure, and that's definitely a good thing. I don't know if it's marks a downward trend. I hope it does, but it's still funny to see baseball, and the fact that sports fans will like even put up with it is ridiculous. I don't know how many. It got more likes that, but it definitely got a lot of replies. It's ridiculous. This is I just mentioned this in passing. This is a guy retiring at 26 years old. It sounds crazy, but it's esports. So Perks, one of the most successful LoL players ever, has retired after competing over 9 years. I mean, I guess 9 years is a career, but I mean, it's amazing how esports, just how short your career is in there. And I feel like games that don't change and don't patch, you have a longer career in it. Maybe I'm wrong, but the stuff that isn't like live service where they're constantly adding stuff, I feel like pros are able to last a bit longer. But it is crazy just how much like reflexes and how much it's a young person's game in these esports. It's retired at 26, but good for him. Hopefully he made a lot of money. Now I can stream and do coach and do other things. I just like to troll saying men are better than women, and it makes sense. I mean, they are. Well, like at video games, they definitely are. And a lot of things they are. And that's just the truth. This was a follow-up from last year. If you remember, Camelcast got canceled from this con. This was a screenshot of it. If this is happening during open to public hours, this con is not doing well. So, good, which is good to see after they removed this guy Camelcast because of he has right-wing views essentially. Telling him he can't do it because it makes people feel unsafe. So it's always good to see good to see people fail. I'm sure they're definitely turned away a few fans. Who knows if that's... It's hard to say if that's the only reason it has so little people. And this is, an accurate screenshot of what's going on. But I don't think, when you have an audience this big, this is your con at any point, you can really afford to turn people off. Anybody off at this point. You need everybody to come, because at this amount of people, these vendors are not making the money they need to make. It is not good. Well, it's good to see. Heartwarming story, if true, heartwarming to see liberals fail. And finally, wow, it's already 10:17. We'll conclude with the game of the week. This is a game that's in danger right now of not getting completed, because I started to play this, then I got hooked on Night Rain, playing Night Rain every night with my brothers. And now, I got the new Switch, I got Mario Kart. I still haven't finished Night Rain yet. So I need to get around to finishing this game. This is Warhammer Bolt Gun. It is a boomer shooter. By boomer, it's boomer shooters are sort of like games. This is based on the sort of old style 2D graphics of these FPSs, like your Quakes, your Dooms. Very much similar to that in the art style, the way you move, the way you don't have reloading. You have health pickups. It's not regenerating healths or regenerating shields. It's got a lot of that old school style design. You got pickups here. I love the style of the art. My only complaint with the graphics is the fact that it's hard to see sometimes. Visually, it's called a boomer shooter. They should make it a little more boomer friendly for, some of the old eyes that are playing this game. But look, the way the bodies explode, the blood on the ground. They did a great job with the presentation. The gameplay is good too. It has more platforming than I would care to, but that sort of happens a lot in these FPSs as well. It's got a lot of different enemies. You got the standard, and these guys can be a pain in the ass. Like I mentioned before with Nitro Express, you have these enemies that are just chaff. Essentially, you can just easily mow through them and kill them. But when you combine these guys with a bunch of enemies, other enemies like you have Chaos Space Marines here, which are a lot tougher. They've got melee attacks. They can take a lot of damage. You have Terminators, which can take even more damage, and they'll have long-range weapons. So, as you throw in a combination of these enemies, it becomes a lot harder to deal with. You have to employ more complex tactics here to take them down. Right now, I'm kind of it's funny. This is also a game that I think takes time to get used to, and kind of get in the rhythm of what the game wants you to do. Because right now, this is when I first started playing it, and I'm using a lot of cover here. It's not that fun when you play it like that. I think it benefits you a lot more to just run out and move around quickly and shoot. You have to kind of get used to, because it's an older style game. But as you do, it's a lot of fun. You have to but it takes a while to get adjusted. I haven't played an FPS in a long time, so I'm sort of my hands are getting used to using a mouse and keyboard again for this kind of stuff. It gets, like I said, it's a lot of fun. They have a lot of nice enemy, different enemies that do a diverse amount of things. So you get into situations where you have to sort of deal with them at the same time. It's a lot of fun, and definitely recommend. I got it for $10 too. It's a game that I think it's not old at all. I think it's only a few years old. Let's see, Bolt Gun. Warhammer Bolt Gun. I think it's been out for a few years. I don't know when it was released. Let's see. 2023. So, like, if you can get it on sale for like $10, $12, I think it's a great pickup. I think it's normally $21.99. But like I said, if you get it on, you wait for a sale, get a good deal. I got it off GOG. It's definitely a lot of fun. It's hard to go wrong with it. I think it takes 10 to 20 hours to complete, which is, to me, right in the sweet spot where I like my games to be right now. It's just a lot of fun. Yeah, just mowing. Like I said, I'm just kind of getting used to everything, adjusted on it. But like once you get used to it, you can be running around, shooting stuff, mowing people down. That's a lot of fun. Like I'm watching myself like, why am I not using a grenade here? But like I just haven't gotten used to it yet. And that's what like a lot of these skill-based games, a lot of fun comes from, as you get used to it, as you get used to dealing with these enemies, it gets easier in a sense, but they obviously add in more stuff to make it harder. It's a good game. Good game so far. I'm even playing it on like normal difficulty, and I was having issues with it. So it's a game. I think it's definitely a game that you could enjoy replaying too, because once you get used to it, you can go through these stages pretty quick. Personally, I think the stage length was a little long, in my opinion, because some of them will take like 20 minutes to 30 minutes, which I don't necessarily like. I think shorter stages, but if you're nowhere to go, I think you can do it extremely quick. You could probably get them done in 10 minutes. It's just me not knowing where to go and me not knowing how to like fight these enemies. Like I said, good stuff. Highly recommend. Though get it on sale, because like I said, you can get it for $10, $12, with the DLC. If you wait for it to be on sale. That's well done. If you like, a 3D first-person shooter that's in 2D, the style's great, the look's great, the gameplay's pretty darn good too. I'm no first-person shooter aficionado, but I've enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll get around to beating it too, because I think I'm getting pretty close. It's just like I said, so many games just came out at once that it's. Right now, it's like on the back burner. It's in danger. It's in danger of being dropped. But hopefully I'll get it done. But that's it for the podcast, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. When it even went a little bit long, just got caught up. Like I said, I got a bunch of stuff to talk about here. So we got caught up. But thank you so much for the super chats, too. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it to, a Nuke, X-Runner, Ashley Brown. Really appreciate the support for the podcast, guys. Thank you so much. And we'll see you later. Goodbye. Oh, and I'll be redirecting to Post Zero. That's over on Jack's channel. So check it out. I think they're talking about getting the best out of life, women, life, and work. Sounds like a pretty fun topic. See you there, guys. Goodbye.